The date is Saturday, October 16th, 2004. And what a day of fixtures and drama we've got in store. At 12:45 we've got Birmingham versus Manchester United. Man United need points. They've had a bit of a shocking start to the season. And then at 3 p.m. we've got 6 games. Arsenal, who are invincible at this point, they host Aston Villa. Blackburn face Middlesbrough. Bolton are at home against Crystal Palace. Everton versus Southampton. We've got Fulham versus Rafa Benitez's Liverpool. He's the new Liverpool manager. And then West Brom versus Norwich. And then at 5:15 we've got Man City versus unbeaten Chelsea under Jose Mourinho. So let's look at the league table just to show you everything that's happening at the start of the 2004-05 season. Arsenal are top. They're unbeaten in the last 48 Premier League games. Chelsea are second. They're also unbeaten, but they've only scored 8 goals in 8 games and only conceded once all season so far. Everton are doing well in third. Man United have just signed Wayne Rooney, but they're only on 13 points, 9 points off the top of the table already after 8 games. And you might notice there's no Liverpool in the top half. I know it's early days, only a few games into the season, but they're in 11th place if we go down to the bottom half. 10 points from 7 games so far, 3 defeats already under Rafa. So they can't really afford to lose again against Fulham today. And a little bit further down, Norwich are bottom of the table. They're newly promoted. So are West Brom and Crystal Palace. And Blackburn in 17th. They've got Mark Hughes as their new manager. He's just taken over from Graham Souness, who joined Newcastle to replace Sir Bobby Robson, who got sacked back in August. So let's go to the early game. Manchester United are away at Birmingham, and we'll just take a little look at the teams before going to the video printer. So Mike Taylor is in goal for Birmingham. Emil Heskey is in attack alongside Dwight York, former Manchester United player of course, and then David Dunn and Robbie Savage are in midfield. Manchester United have got Rooney on the bench. He's rested for this game. So Louis Saha is in attack alongside Ruud van Nistelrooy. Kleberson is in centre mid alongside Roy Keane. And Cristiano Ronaldo starts on the left. So let's go to the game. And if anyone watches a lot of these videos, you'll know there was a Man United Leeds game the other day, but as soon as I started it, it finished because it was goalless. And that's exactly what happens here. Full time, Birmingham 0, Manchester United 0. And this was not a good performance at all from Manchester United. In fact, they probably should have lost. And it's more dropped points, and their bad start to the season continues. We'll just show you one more bit of team news before the 3 p.m. games. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. So 48 games unbeaten in the Premier League at this point. And just take a look at this team. This is the peak of the Invincibles, really. Bergkamp up top with Thierry Henry. Patrick Vieira in midfield. Cesc Fabregas, a very young Cesc Fabregas. Pires is in there. Just an amazing team. And in Aston Villa, I've got Stefan Postma in goal instead of Thomas Sorensen because he's injured. And some of the stars of this team, Olaf Melberg in defence, Gareth Barry in midfield, and then Darius Vassell was an England player around this time. So let's get started with the 3 p.m. games, and there is a shock on the cards early on at Highbury. It's Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 1. Lee Hendry, the Aston Villa midfielder, scores just 3 minutes in, but Robert Pires scores a penalty in the 19th minute to make it 1-1. And 5 minutes later, I mentioned earlier how Liverpool cannot afford another defeat, but they already go 1-0 down 24 minutes in. Luis Boa Morte scoring for Fulham, and it gets even worse 5 minutes later when Boa Morte scores again to make it 2-0 to Fulham against Liverpool, and then Tugai gets sent off. Tugai, a classic Premier League cult hero of the 2000s, he gets a red card for Blackburn, so they're at home against Middlesbrough. And there's no more major incidents until the stroke of half-time when Thierry Henry scores to put Arsenal 2-1 up now against Aston Villa, so it looks like their unbeaten run will extend to 49 today. And in the same minute, Bolton's battering ram of a centre-forward, Kevin Davis, scores. So it's Bolton 1, Crystal Palace 0, and that's how it stays going into half-time. So not many goals so far, but obviously 0-0 between Birmingham and Man United, that was full-time. Arsenal 2-1 up against Aston Villa. Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 0, but Blackburn are down to 10 men. Bolton winning against Crystal Palace 1-0. And then there's only 2 more goals. So Everton, Southampton still goalless. West Brom, Norwich still goalless. And then 2-0 to Fulham against Liverpool thanks to Luis Boa Morte. So let's get to the second half, and the first goal comes just 1 minute in, and it's Blackburn, 10-man Blackburn, 0, Middlesbrough 1. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, the summer signing from Chelsea, makes it 1-0 to Middlesbrough, and then Liverpool pull one back against Fulham. Zat Knight scores an own goal, so it's now 2-1 to Fulham, and then Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 2. George Boateng scores, Middlesbrough legend George Boateng. So Blackburn a man down, and now 2 goals down, and now 3 goals down, because Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank scores again. Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 3. And there's a fourth goal at Craven Cottage. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. Milan Baros scores. So Liverpool have booked their ideas up in the second half, and Arsenal have scored again. So it's Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1, Robert Pires getting his second of the game, and then Hosemi, I believe that's how you say his name. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but he gets sent off in his 76th minute. So Liverpool are now down to 10 men. 2 guys off for Blackburn. Hosemi, if I'm saying it correctly, is also off, and Liverpool have 14 minutes plus added time with 10 men at Fulham. But it doesn't matter that much, because they take the lead for the first time in the game when Xabi Alonso scores. So it's Fulham 2, Liverpool 3, and then with 2 minutes to go, Everton, who we've not even mentioned hardly in this video, go 1-0 up against Southampton, struggling Southampton, Leon Osman scoring the goal. And there's one more goal at Ewood Park, Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 4, and it's Hasselbank again, scoring his hat-trick. And Hasselbank here is showing he's still got it, because at Leeds he did well, went to Atletico, went to Chelsea, still did well at Chelsea, but he's been let go. And now at Middlesbrough, he's showing he can still score goals at the highest level. And also in added time, there's another goal between Fulham and Liverpool. It could be 3-3 in this game, or it could be 4-2 to Liverpool. And that's exactly what it is. It's 4-2 to Liverpool. Igor Biscan scores. And that's how it finishes. Fulham 2, Liverpool 4. And before I do a full roundup of all the scores, let's just go to the evening game. And I'll show you the team news first. Man City versus Chelsea. David James is in goal for Man City. They've got Sean Wright-Phillips in this team on the right wing. Nicholas Anelka is in attack alongside John Macken. And Kevin Keegan is the manager. And the Chelsea team, Petr Cech has just joined in the summer transfer window, so is Paulo Ferreira and Ricardo Carvalho. So this Chelsea defence is rock solid at this point, but they're struggling for goals, as I mentioned earlier. So Mourinho is relying on Lampard, Duff, Kesman and Goodjohnson to get the goals against Man City. So we'll just quickly go to the video printer for this game. Paulo Ferreira fouls Nicholas Anelka 11 minutes in, gives away a penalty. Anelka scores to put Man City 1-0 up. And that's how the game finishes. So this is Jose Mourinho's first defeat as Chelsea manager. Man City 1, Chelsea 0. And this is a major shock. Chelsea only 8 goals now in 9 games. Only conceded twice, but still. First defeat of the season for Chelsea. So let's go to the full roundup. So Birmingham 0, Manchester United 0. Rooney started on the bench for that game. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1. So that means Arsenal have gone 49 games unbeaten in the Premier League. Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 4. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank hat-trick, 2 guy getting sent off. Bolton 1, Crystal Palace 0, Kevin Davis scoring the only goal in that game. Everton 1, Southampton 0, Leon Osman. And then Fulham went 2-0 up against Liverpool at half-time. But Liverpool win 4-2. And then West Brom 0, Norwich 0. And on the final page, Jose Mourinho's first defeat as Chelsea manager, Man City 1, Chelsea 0. So that means, at the end of the day, Arsenal are now 5 points clear. And look at that goal difference. They have a goal difference of plus 21. Chelsea have a goal difference of plus 6. So Arsenal, they look like they're about to run away with another title, but they do face Man United away next week. So that's a bit of a test, although they're not in good form. As I referenced earlier, in fact, look at 6th place, Manchester United. 3 victories in 9 games, only lost once, but they've only scored 9 goals in 9 games. So they are in bad form, and 11 points off top already. I'll also mention Everton and Bolton up to 3rd and 4th now after those wins today, and Liverpool are now in 7th after beating Fulham. And looking at the bottom half, Crystal Palace bottom of the table, Southampton also on 5 points from 9 games, Blackburn drop into the relegation zone after Norwich got that point against West Brom, and Norwich are still the only team yet to win a game so far in this season. So I think that sums everything up. That's what happened in the Premier League on Saturday, October the 16th, 2004. It was all about Arsenal. They're still invincible, but for how much longer, we'll have to find out in a future video. And Jose Mourinho lost for the first time as Chelsea manager. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like the Premier League in the 1990s, the making of modern football. It's available now on Amazon and in the description, or you can click inside that television set for another classic football story.